thank him for a great night work. And Topher Goggin, who began his day with a half marathon, finishes it with a Rams victory. We appreciate him being on stats tonight. Jory Hirsch is our boss. He brings us notes, research, and moral support. For DeMarco Farr and Maurice Jones-Drew, hope you enjoyed the broadcast and the win. Glad to extend this season another week. We'll talk to you in the divisional round. 34-31, the Rams beat the Panthers. Post-game coverage begins now on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Rams Wildcard Saturday against the Panthers is a final today from Bank of America Stadium.
Rams football on ESPN LA is presented by
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times.
Rams football on ESPN Los Angeles is powered by ZipRecruiter. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/LA.
Driven by Subaru of Glendale, the #1 Subaru dealer in America. Find your next Subaru at Subaru of Glendale or at SubaruofGlendale.net.
Highlands. Get reliable leg cramp relief fast.
Brought to you by the Los Angeles International Airport, where change is in the air. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Vista Paint. When toughness matters, Vista Paint delivers. Durable finishes, local built to perform.
Brought to you by your Southern California Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires.
Thank you for listening to Rams football today on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
And it is a final. Rams-Panthers wild card Saturday.
From the 19, Stafford has it helmet high, settles his feet, shoots right side, leaping catch, touchdown LA!
Wow!
At the front, right, pylon, Colby Parkinson gives the Rams the lead. With 38 seconds to go, an absolute dot from Stafford, 33-31, and the try coming.
And the Rams get the revenge win on Wild Card Saturday. Time to move on in the NFL playoffs on the road to the Lombardi Trophy. Up next, divisional playoff weekend.
Recapping everything that went down this afternoon from Charlotte. Wild Card Saturday is a final.
It's time for the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Now live from our Rams Wild Card watch party at Hollywood Park Casino.
With producer Emily, Chris Morales, and Sua Cravens.
Here is Travis Rogers.
Survive and advance. That is the war cry for the Rams.
You're still a little nervous, huh, Trav?
Very, very nervous. A 34-31 win against the Carolina Panthers. We got a million things to get into, but first, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Go ahead and pick your adjective. I don't know if it's lucky, fortunate, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. But, Chris, I think you're right. I think my heart is
You're a little nervous.
I'm incredibly
By
nervous.
the way, the one that just played was recorded, so let me do it live. Yeah. It is a final. The Rams win inside Hollywood Park Casino. Let's do it. Whose house? Exactly right, Travis.
34-31, Sua. It felt like in the first quarter and about halfway through the second quarter that this was going to be one of those games that we were laughing, goofing around, middle of the third quarter. Instead, the Rams are behind with about a minute and a half to go. They have to drive the length of the field to score a game-winning touchdown, and they get it done.
Playing with their food the entire game. It was weird because all the signs pointed to a blowout, from the turnovers to the special teams mistakes by Carolina, to the lack of complete offense that they had. To be down 3 at halftime did not seem right. And they allowed Carolina not only to stay around, but to take the lead at one point. And if it wasn't for the heroics of one of your tight ends, you're going home.
No, they took the lead. Not only did they take the lead, they took the lead with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in the game. They go ahead 31-27. Jalen Coker catches a 7-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Young. And it was, you've been saying, you and I have been chatting the whole game, and you kept saying, Trav, they're going to win the game. I guarantee it. I stake my reputation on it. They're going to win the game. They're going to win the game. Was there a point where you're like, I think I'm going to be wrong, the Rams are not going to win the game?
No. The moment that Carolina scored with 2 minutes and
Too much time?
Too much time. It's too much time. It's the same thing where if the Bears were in a similar situation, I'm like, you gave Caleb too much time. They're at least going to get to the red zone. So I didn't at one point feel like the game was lost or hope was lost. I just felt like the Rams were playing around a little bit.
They were playing around a lot of it. And you know what? Hold on a second. I want to rethink this. Were they playing around, or did Carolina overperform? Because it didn't feel like the Rams were sloppy a bunch of it. Now, they committed a bunch of penalties that they typically don't. Puka had a bad drop. Devontae had a weird drop. But when they really needed to get something done, it seemed like they were able to kind of dig deep and find it.
Carolina just had a good game plan. They have two DBs that are good corners that can go man by themselves. And for the first time in a long time, I saw Devontae Adams struggle to find open space in man-on-man coverage. They did a great job in winning the one-on-ones outside and limiting the Rams' offense, in which you're going to choose. It's not going to be the Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams show. You'll get Puka the ball on this drive, or you'll get Devontae the ball, but not both.
Chris, what about you? Because we were talking all week long, and I was saying, the Rams by 1,000,000, the Rams 42-10. It felt like that's where we were headed halfway through the first quarter. You were far more cautious coming into this game, far more
based on week 13.
Based on week 13, what was your nervous?
I thought it was over. I thought it was over in the fourth quarter based on how the Rams were playing. And here's the thing: after that Bryce Young touchdown, amazing throw, Rams secondary fails in the end zone. We said they're going to lose this game because special teams and their secondary fail them. We knew that was an issue coming into the season, and it was going to be an issue in the final game. And then the heroics of Matthew Stafford. Oh, Matthew Stafford. It happens in an amazing fashion. And, yes, to what Sua said, Panthers left way too much time on the clock when you're going up against the MVP of the league.
Yes, but they're the Panthers. To ask them to bleed clock and figure out a way to leave them with, make the Rams spend their timeouts.
But Sua kept saying, why not just quarterback sneak four plays in a row and run that clock against the Rams?
I get the Rams could, do that. The Buffalo Bills could do that. These offenses that have been operating at a high level all season long. But the Carolina Panthers, man, you get a chance to score a touchdown, you score a touchdown.
I knew they were going to lose when they did a play-action boot in 2nd and 3 with 3 minutes left, and they have all 3 timeouts. And you get one first down, you can take a good minute and a half at the minimum off the clock, or force LA to call 3 timeouts, in which on the following drive they cannot attack the middle of the field like they did that entire drive all the way up the field. It's just situational awareness that the lack thereof of experience is the reason why Carolina wasn't going to win this game.
But they also put the Rams to the brink because they knew that they had to play very aggressive.
And they did.
Yeah, and they kept that defense out in the field, the Rams defense out in the field, and they stretched them. They knew every drive was going to be 4 downs.
And the Rams got off the field on 4th down a couple of different times, and it felt like they had opportunities to go, okay, they get a stop here, go down and score some points, and end this game. And they were never able to get that knockout blow until the very end of the game. A little bit of a different call-in number tonight if you want to come in and talk about what we saw Wild Card Weekend, 213-799-0139. Let me give it to you one more time. 213-799-0139 if you want to come in.
It's a special wild card number.
A wild card weekend.
It's the wild card hotline.
A wild card hotline. That's how
Chris
that
gone
works
wild.
right
That's how I'm going to spin it.
Here's what it is. Matthew Stafford is, I think, probably likely to win the MVP. He and Drake May are going to have a very close run. But you got to see why I think the difference between those two players is the difference between those two players. Matthew Stafford got off to a hot start, hit his first 8 passes of the game, found Puka Nacua in the end zone, and it felt like everything was going to go. Then he hits his hand on a Carolina player, and from that point forward, he wasn't very good until he had to be very good on that final drive, and he turned back into Matthew Stafford again. The final line, 24 out of 42, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. If you just dropped in from outer space and looked at this box score, you'd be like, okay, that's a pretty good Matthew Stafford game. Not a great Matthew Stafford game, but when they had to have it, Sue, he was the MVP of the league.
Yeah, and that's why before this game started, I said I think it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. At the end of the day, this is the playoffs, and you need a guy under the center that can deliver when you need it. When the Rams needed a touchdown, they drove 80 yards and scored. When the Panthers needed a touchdown, it came off a blocked punt. It didn't come off of a
80-yard
methodical drive by Bryce Young, finding windows and navigating an offense. You were gifted red zone position, and even then, y'all almost blew it and had to score on a crazy throw on 3rd down. Stafford, He's just got the experience, he's got the skill, and he's got the savvy to even do the no-look passes on that drive. That
was the
must-have drive.
Play of the game-winning drive that converted. It was a third down play. All of a sudden, you get a first down where he looks Christian Roseboom, former teammate, off of one of those no-look throws. He connects with Devontae, gives them a little bit of breathing room, and from that point forward, they just kept moving because they got the ball back with 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the game. Down by 4 points. So you have to score a touchdown. You know you can't just settle for a field goal, send it into overtime. They drove the length of the field. They go, they go down and score 7 plays, 71 yards, take 2 minutes and 1 second off the clock. They didn't use a single timeout.
No.
Now, the 2-minute warning was in there, but this is usually where you have a quarter. Stafford kept that Carolina defense on its heels the entire time. They never stopped the clock other than the 2-minute warning.
And it was also a mixture of the Panthers DC playing not to lose the game. He immediately went into prevent coverage, everything in front. I'm okay with you getting 8 yards at a time. Why would you be okay with me picking up 8 yards at a time when I have 3 minutes, a 2-minute timeout, and 3 timeouts? You're giving me what I want. If anything, you should be coaching for they most likely are going to score here, so let's get the ball back with as much time as possible.
Especially against him. Like if you're going in and you're playing a playoff game and look, against Bryce Young, then maybe you try to keep everything underneath and force him to throw the ball a bunch of times in a row to try to beat you. Matthew Stafford's not going to miss those.
He's going to pick you apart doing it. You gave him everything he wanted. You actually convinced you started the game in, and look what he did in the first goal on the first drive, and look what he did on the last one.
All right, guys, I have the updated Super Bowl odds.
Go on.
I can tell you on the other side.
All right, we'll do that when we come back. We're still waiting to find out who the Rams play. Obviously,
so we call it tease by
the
Emily.
game's coming up tonight. The Packers are in Chicago to take on the Bears. That has a direct result on where the Rams may go. If the Packers win in Chicago tonight, there is a situation where the Rams could be back at SoFi Stadium next week. That, of course, would assume a San Francisco win in Philadelphia coming up tomorrow. M's got the tease. We're going to get into it next. Your phone calls as well, 213-799-0139. It's all coming up on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Let's see here. Good times for mac and cheese. Slip a Wahlburger in there. Cielo for a steak and some vino. Gotta grab a boba from Mosin. Pink coffee for dessert. Yep, that settles it. Can't start my diet until 2027. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo. You want to. The holidays are over. Now it's time to have fun. Get in the car. Head to Morongo. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick TickPick. They're picking the official fan experience partner of the Los Angeles Rams with no hidden fees ever. So pick TickPick for your chance to enjoy an all-exclusive experience at the TRD Pro Club at SoFi Stadium every game. A chance to experience the national anthem on the field, or the opportunity to spend time with friends and family on the field pregame or postgame. Don't let fees get between you and a great game day. Download the TickPick app and enjoy the best experiences supporting your Los Angeles Rams this year. The game's over, but the hunger is just getting started. Albertsons and Vons, official grocery partner of the Los Angeles Rams, has your post-game playbook ready. Skip the stress and score with easy, delicious meals from our deli and ready-to-eat selections. Think rotisserie chickens, fresh salads, hearty soups, and grab-and-go favorites. Perfect for feeding the family without extra effort. Order online and pick up for free when you spend $30 or more, or get delivered straight to your door.
Service fee applies for orders scheduled for delivery and pickup orders under $30.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Rob Havenstein of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Time to recap Rams-Panthers. WildCard Saturday from Bank of America Stadium.
We react right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino Park Party and Play.
Rams-Panthers is a final.
Once again, live from our Rams Wildcard Watch Party at Hollywood Park Casino with producer Emily, Chris Morales, and Sua Cravens. Here is Travis Rogers.
From the 19, Stafford has it helmet high, settles his feet, shoots right side, leaping catch, touchdown LA!
Wow!
At the front, right pylon, Colby Parkinson gives the Rams the lead. With 38 seconds to go, an absolute dot from Stafford, 33-31, and the try coming.
And the try was good. That is the final score, 34-31. Of course, that is your Rams call of the game, presented to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident, 800-345-6789. That's 800-345-6789. We are here at Hollywood Park Casino enjoying Wild Card Weekend. And like we like to do here at Hollywood Park Casino, we go to the people with Chris Morales.
So I thought the J.B. Long call there was amazing. And Maurice Jones-Drew really gave us that wow, which makes us all feel good. The
Sure
wow
does.
by MJD we love. But listen, let me tell you who else we love. Tay from the city of Bellflower, big P1 of our flagship here in Los Angeles, ESPN LA. Now, Tay, you told me you kept the faith. You weren't thinking that the Panthers were going to win, right?
Nope, not at all.
You sure about that? I think you were a little nervous.
Not at all?
Just a tad bit, but I still have faith in them.
Okay, now, who do you want to see next week? Niners or Eagles, potentially?
Give me the Niners, man.
Yep.
That's right.
That's
and
the right answer.
We got a Niners fan we're going to talk to later in the show. This scumbag with a Niners hat. But, Tay, give me a whose house?
Rams house.
There we go. Back to you, Trav.
All right, thanks, Chris. Yeah, no, the Niners is the right answer to that question, but the Packers need to take care of the Bears before anything happens in Philadelphia.
I have a quick question,
tomorrow.
I'm sorry, before we go on.
Yes.
So when you say give me a whose house, does that mean that you're asking for the whose house, or are you giving the Rams house?
No, I was just asking him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He knew what he was asking for, Emily. Don't complicate matters.
Wait, come on now. It's been a long day.
You don't need to make it more complicated than it actually is. All right, you mentioned it, Em, before we went to the break, that updated Super Bowl odds now that the Rams are the third team into the divisional round.
Yes. So after the win, the Rams and Seahawks are now co-favorites to win the Super Bowl at plus 330 on DraftKings.
Okay, I understand that to a point. Here's the part that I want to follow up with you on, Sua. I get that the Rams have an unbelievable offense. They have a potential MVP at quarterback. They have, the Colby Parkinson caught the game-winning touchdown.
They just watched the same game as us, though, right?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
That this was a team that for 2.5 quarters did not play well. A team that clearly has real special teams issues.
Yeah.
A team that clearly has some deficiencies in their secondary that were exploited by a quarterback who does not really light it up through the air. Are they the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl with the way they're playing right now?
I have no idea how, because after watching that game, I am terrified to play Seattle or Philly. If the Rams think that you can go to sleep for 2 quarters against Philadelphia or Seattle, you will be going to Cancun. And it will not be a fourth quarter showdown. It would be a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter with you wondering what happened. But this is what the Rams have looked like the last 6 weeks, and this is why I've been so concerned going into the postseason.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the calls here in just 1 second. If you want to get in, 213-799-0139. And I think you bring up a really good point, because this isn't just that they got into a fourth quarter showdown because they played a couple of less than perfect quarters against a mediocre Panthers.
It's a bad team that played bad today and still had a chance.
Yeah, and it's been the better part of a month before they have looked like themselves for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Like when they were 9-2 for about a month and a half, 2 months, they were just knocking people down.
Who's beating this team?
No, who's beating this team? And now you look at it, it's like a couple of good quarters, couple of not so good quarters, some lackadaisical play to some very good play. They're kind of all over the place. Can you really put a ton of faith in that, knowing now if they play like they played at the end, if they played like they played through the first quarter, that team probably does beat just about anybody. But they haven't been that team for 4 quarters in a row in a month and change.
No, and Stafford's decision-making is concerning me a little bit because he has an aggressive style. Today, he should have thrown 3 interceptions. That's not my opinion.
Puka might have saved the game by punching that ball out in the end
Of
zone.
course he did, and on top of Carolina dropping another interception on a few tips. So it's I get the vetty savviness to want to be aggressive, to not fear any throw or any defense, and to always believe that you can get the ball into the end zone. But there does come a point where, and to what Emily was saying during the game, sometimes it's just better off taking what they give you. Sometimes the 5-yard check down, which he's normally great at, is the right play. Sometimes kicking the field goal is the right play. And I don't think you can get caught being greedy against Philly and think you'll get a second chance.
There's so many games, there's so many plays in a game that in the moment feel huge, and then you kind of forget about them because 10 more things happen after that. But I'm glad you brought it up again because 3rd and 1, they throw the ball into the end zone. They take a shot. It's 3rd and 1 from about, I think it was about on the 19-yard line or so. They throw it into the end zone, and it's a bad ball. It's basically intercepted, and Puka breaks it up with kind of a landman punch-out. They end up getting a first down on the next play. They end up getting points on that particular drive. But that was a play that if it doesn't happen, we're having a very different postgame show right now.
If it doesn't happen, maybe Carolina only runs the clock out and they use those timeouts and the Rams get the ball back with 1:20 left. But even then,
it's a different ask.
That's a much different ask. Knowing you can't get tackled in bounds, you have no timeouts, and you need 6.
Let's try our first phone call here, 213-799-0139. If you want to get on the Rams postgame show, Em, who do we got?
Let's go to Chris in L.A. Chris in L.A., what you got?
What's up, Chris?
Hey. And Sue had touched on a little bit of it, but I had a problem with the going for it on 4th down at the end of the half. In the playoffs, I believe 2 things are important: getting points and momentum. And I think if they go up 20-7 and then getting the ball back first, the second half you go up 27, maybe 23, and you don't give Carolina momentum from stopping you and letting them go and score a touchdown. So I agree, Sue. I think they were playing with their food. They're being a little arrogant, and that's not going to work if you keep going through the playoffs playing better teams. So I'm all for getting the points when they're there and moving on. So I want to know what you guys feel about that.
Thanks, Chris.
I agree. You can't let you go to Lincoln Financial Field, get down 10-0, and you go for it on a 4th down situation and not convert. That game might be over quick because Philly, one thing they're great at that people don't give them a lot of credit for because they see all these big names and they say, well, I see Saquon, I see AJ, I see Devontae, I should see touchdowns, I should see 40-point game, 50-point, 400-yard. Philly is very effective at clock management. Whether they score or not, at any time they can go on a 5 to 6 minute drive and just bleed the clock and change everything.
And it takes a whole possession away from the other team.
It does.
Yeah, you just get the ball 1 fewer time.
Even if you have the lead, you're like, okay, well, I can't rest on that lead because they just took 6 minutes off the clock and didn't score, which tells me my defense didn't stop them. They just couldn't put points on the board. So now I feel like I have to score again. But Philly is great at that. Rams, you can't get caught sleepwalking against them.
I didn't like the call to go for it. I thought that putting points on the board at that time was the better decision there. I think, though, if I'm trying to put myself inside of Sean McVay's head at that point, he's going for the dagger. If they do convert right there, if they do score a touchdown, that game that we've been talking about, like it felt like it was about to be over, I think it is. I think Carolina at that point, they're behind by 3 touchdowns in that situation.
Rams get the ball in the second half.
Rams get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. That feels like hey, man, Cancun sounds pretty good right now if I'm a Carolina Panther. Let's just get the heck out of here. It did work out, and I think that if you go up 17-0 at that point, you still have a pretty good shot. But I think he was trying to end the game in the 2nd quarter.
I'm not mad at the decision to go for it It's all I'm saying is that decision to go for it and not getting it could cost you against a team like Philly.
Yeah.
You got away with it because Carolina isn't as they can't match up with you. You'll have a chance no matter what. Philly, you'll be out if you do that.
All right, we're going to hear from Coach McVay before the end of the program. We're going to take more of your phone calls as well. 213-799-0139. The Rams advance. Survive and advance, and that's exactly what they did today, 34-31 in Carolina. Next divisional round opponent, TBD. It could be the only team it could not be is Green Bay. Green Bay is the only team they could not play. Green Bay and Seattle
they
are the
can't
only
play
two
Seattle.
Teams. No, Green Bay and Seattle. Green Bay and Seattle are the two teams that they cannot play. The other three are still on the board. We'll get into all of the possibilities. It's all coming up on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN Only Rams Radio Network.
This season, celebrating in a new Volvo is easier than ever. Now through December 31st, you can save on select SUVs during our Holiday Safely Sign and Drive event. With advanced safety features and Google built-in, our SUVs help keep your family safe and connected, from gift runs to holiday gatherings. Whether it's compact versatility or comfort with seating up to 7, Volvo SUVs are up for anything. Sign and drive to make one yours. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more. Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
One briefcase, one moment could change everything. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is giving you a chance to own your destiny in 2026. Play throughout the month of January, and on January 28th, one Club Serrano member will win the case, and with it, a finale spot in any 2026 promotion, plus $400,000. Which destiny will you choose? It's all happening at Yamava Resort and Casino, celebrating its 40th anniversary. You in? Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Having low income can mean making tough choices. Choosing between paying for food or medication or a place to live is a reality for many people. Do you know someone who could use some extra help? Find out about the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI, administered by Social Security. You could receive monthly SSI payments if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. SSI is money you can use to help pay for basic needs, like putting food on the table, keeping the lights on, paying the rent. It can mean new shoes for growing feet or help with medical needs. Call 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSI to schedule an appointment or start to apply today. That's ssa.gov/SSI. This message produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Hi, this is Devontae Adams of your LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Time to recap Rams-Panthers. WILDCARD Saturday from Bank of America Stadium.
We react right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino Park Party and Play.
Rams-Panthers is a final.
Once again live from our Rams WildCard watch party at Hollywood Park Casino with producer Emily, Chris Morales, and Sua Cravens. Here is Travis Rogers.
34-31, the final from Carolina. The Rams beat the Panthers. They advance to the division round. The next game of the wild card weekend is underway. The Chicago Bears with a 3-0 lead. A little bit more than halfway through the first quarter there. We'll keep you updated. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Rams, Sean McVay, coming up in just a little bit. But still, let's get to your phone calls next. 213-799-0139. Who's next?
Let's go to Eric. He's on the 405. Eric, what you got?
Yeah. One of you, I don't know who it was, but one of them said
probably Sua.
That it was. Said something about, cringing, fearing playing Philly or I don't know if it was the 49ers at that time. But first of all, the Rams gave away games to both of those in the early part of the season, so they should fear no one. The only thing that I had concerns about is somebody said something about Stafford's decision-making too, and him being so aggressive. Fine, be aggressive when you throw it, but you cannot be a punk sissy when you are challenged and you see the rush around your feet. That fourth down play, he escaped the pocket, and the big difference between him and Bryce Young in that instance, he escapes the pocket, staring at the first down marker, could have fallen for it, but ate cheese and threw the ball at Higbee's feet when he should have run for that first down. That would have prolonged that drive. Who knows where the game goes from there. Young, the Rams defense gave Young the blues. The last two touchdowns he saw, he had the witness from his back, but he took the hits and then made a very decisive decision on the touchdown that he ran for. I don't expect you to be him running, but you cannot be a sissy. You got to make the decision. In the playoffs, it's a game of inches. You got to be willing to go get those inches, take a hit, and keep your team rolling.
Thank you for the call, Sua. Just so you know, you can't be a punk sissy. and I don't think I've ever heard anyone ever question Matthew Stafford's toughness a single time in the 17 years he's been in this league. Like, he is notoriously one of the toughest guys. By the way, he doesn't get close to the first down. If he puts there's a defender right there in front of him. He's not shaking anybody. He's not making the guy miss.
There's a video of Matthew Stafford dislocating his shoulder on a touchdown drive, going to the sideline, getting it popped back in, and then running back out to
throwing a winning touchdown
throw the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
So I'm not questioning his toughness. Availability is the best ability, and if you think Matthew Stafford is putting a shoulder down to scramble for 4 yards against anyone, you're lying to yourself.
He would have been 3 yards short.
A veneer would have been on the floor. It would have.
One thing that Mason, John Ireland likes to point all the time is when there are questionable decisions that relate to betting. And this isn't really it, but Matthew Stafford, his rush prop yards was 0.5.
Yeah.
He lost. He would have had it. He lost 2 yards with his kneel down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
But
although
they ran
he
that
did
QB
have that sneak, which caught everybody by surprise. They
Even
get a
us.
little around the right guard there. But no, I don't think Matthew Stafford's toughness is the issue. Now, I kind of want to piggyback on one of the other things he said, where you're talking about being, afraid of it. I don't think the Rams are afraid of any team in the NFC. I don't think they're afraid of any team in the AFC. I don't think that that's what you are saying. I don't think that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the way they've been playing for the last month or so, there are opportunities with opponents that I don't feel like were there a month or so ago.
Yeah.
They just have not looked like themselves. Now, they escaped today. They escaped against the Cardinals, where they absolutely blew them out in the fourth quarter of Week 18. But we haven't seen 4 quarters from this team in a minute.
That's what's going to take to win a championship. If the Rams think they're going to win a Super Bowl playing like how they did today, it's just not going to happen. And I'm sorry to break it to whoever's listening. I don't mean to be, a Debbie Downer, but that's not good enough to beat the best in the NFL. You cannot do what you did today against the Panthers and think you'll win.
They need to be much better than they were today. If they're whoever they play in the next round, they're going to need to clean that up a lot. Let's try another phone call then. What's next?
I think we got Nick in Dallas, and you're calling into the Mason Island show a lot. So thanks for listening, Nick. What you got?
Thanks, Emily. How you guys doing? I watched the game. I thought Michael Strahan made a great point in the post-game show that this was a reality check for the Rams because I think they're the best team in the league. And I think that maybe considering that they won a game like this, we'll have them play better moving forward because Sua's right. You can't play like this against Philly or even Seattle, who I think they're going to beat them both if they play one of those two or both of them moving forward. But I thought McVay got greedy. You have to take the points on that fourth down play and just take a 27 lead going into half because they got the ball back and start the second half. I thought they gave the Panthers momentum. And because I just thought that that was a risky move by the Bay, and I get it, but they should have took the points. But and also, lastly, before I go, has anybody heard anything about Stafford's hand when I think he hit one of the players for the Panthers' hand? Because he didn't look the same in the second half though, when throwing the ball. But I just want to know what was your take on that though, and thanks for taking my call.
You said it. You said that he hasn't looked the same since he whacked his hand on that defender, but I just think that if you heat Stafford up a little bit and keep him rotating away from his throwing arm, he just gets uncomfortable and he starts pressing and starts trying to make plays. And I think Carolina started figuring that out.
I think that's part of it, and I'm not dismissing that, but I don't think it's a coincidence that he was basically throwing a no-hitter through the early part of the game. He whacks his hand on a Carolina Panthers defender. You can tell he's in a great deal of pain. He's winced. He's kind of, making a fist, trying to loosen it up. I think he went 2 for his next 10. Look, Matthew Stafford's not going 2 for 10 at any point. He's too good of a player. Clearly, he was dealing with some stuff, but when he needed to get it done. Now, what that feels like a week from now, I don't know. We'll see. But I think that lull for Stafford in particular, I don't think was necessarily about decisions. I think his hand was bothering him because it was a direct line from playing really well, whacked his hand, to not playing well until that last drive or two where they looked like themselves.
And even then, run the football.
They did on the final drive. I mean, I know Stafford completed some passes, but they were also able to keep picking up first downs on the ground.
That's because in the first half it was kind of shying away from because you got stopped on 3rd and 1, I think twice, so it turned into pass happy. But in that fourth quarter, I didn't think they were going to run the ball at all on those short yardage downs because I was waiting for the pass, because I was waiting for we need to score now. We need to press. It has to be through the air, but instead they kept it on the ground. They caught me off guard. They caught Carolina off guard. It's the reason why they were able to convert.
Let's go back to the people. This is going to be interesting. Chris Morales with the folks. Chris, this is I'm curious what this is about to be.
So here's the thing, Trav. I spotted this individual when he walked in during the pregame show here at Hollywood Park Casino. A great Rams wild card watch party. And here's the thing. When I saw this gentleman walk in a Niners hat, Sue and I looked at each other, and it's been known that here when we do the postgame at HPC, I call the other team scumbags.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
And Sue wrote on a piece of paper, who's this scumbag in the Niners hat?
3 question marks.
So I waited till postgame because I wanted to make sure we won the Rams. What is your name, scumbag in a Niners hat?
My name is Matthew Bang Bang Niner Game Gonzalez.
What possessed you to wear a Niners hat to a Rams watch party today?
Well, I'm a Niner fan, faithful. My girl is a Rams fan.
How did that happen?
So,
how does that happen?
What do you mean, how does that happen?
Manipulation. I get it.
Sometimes a love connection happens, and then you figure out football after.
So you said that the Rams should have won. They're the best team. Clearly, they're better than the Niners. We know that.
As a football watcher, yes. As a 49ers faithful, no. But you know what? I will say this. As someone who's played football in high school, played youth football,
huh?
Yeah. The Rams has got it. The Rams.
Okay. He got your number because he pulled up on you at a bar and said, "Hey, 49ers suck. What's the digits?" And you coughed him up.
Now here's the thing: I am rooting for the Niners against the Eagles so that we could potentially, meaning the Rams, get a home game at SoFi, and you called it Levi South.
Well, you said home game at SoFi?
Yeah, I did.
I don't think so. That's Levi South.
See, look at that. See, Travis.
I want to argue with the man, but I don't think he's necessarily wrong. I think that the Niners show up, and they show up in big numbers.
Maybe we'll see this Niners fan.
It was like this, and it's starting to come like this, but it's still, there's a bit of red.
Rams win today, and this guy in a Niners hat, he's here. Yeah. So there you go, Trav.
Hey, he's got his lovely friend with him. So
my captain Fred Warner says, "Bang bang Niner gang, Levi South, whose house? Niners house."
You know what else Fred Warner said? Matthew Stafford's the MVP of the league. He said that too.
Exactly right.
Yeah, we'll hang our hat on that one for sure. We're going to hear from Sean McVay. That is coming up next. 34-31, the final score. Wild Card weekend in Carolina. The Rams advance. We'll see who they got coming up next. San Francisco or maybe Philadelphia or Chicago as well. All straight ahead on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN only Rams Radio Network.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Now for a limited time, get 0% APR for 60 months on the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end February 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information, visit talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Hi, this is Brayden Fisk of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Time to recap Rams Panthers. Wild Card Saturday from Bank of America Stadium.
We react right now on the Rams postgame show live from Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino Park Party and Play.
Rams Panthers is a final.
Once again live from our Rams Wild Card watch party at Hollywood Park Casino with producer Emily, Chris Morales, and Sua Cravens. Here is Travis Rogers.
There's my song. 34-31 is the final score. The Rams advance. They will go play division opponent, or I should say the divisional round, next round. Maybe here at SoFi, maybe in Philadelphia, maybe in Chicago. The Bears have fallen behind now 7-3. The Packers with that lead. The Packers do need to win against Chicago if the Rams have any chance of coming back to SoFi Stadium, which I'd imagine Sean McVay would say will play anybody, anywhere. He spoke with J.B. Long and Maurice Jones-Drew after the game.
With Sean McVay after a fourth quarter that featured 28 points and 4 lead changes, his Rams prevail 34-31 here in Carolina. Sean, congratulations. How'd you see it?
You know, I'm proud of the way that we finished the game. I just love the resilience, the mental toughness of this group. I think there's a lot of things that we created our own adversity that we can learn from, but we'll take it. There's no style points, especially in this tournament, and grateful to be able to advance, grateful to be able to have another week guaranteed with this team that I love and really care about. And there's a lot of things that I'm excited about cleaning up because I know we can play a lot better as well.
Coach, that last drive, any doubt in your mind that you guys are going to go down and finish this thing?
Hell no, Mo. Matthew Stafford leading the way. No, we weren't going to get denied.
One other thing, I hate to call it a single play, but I think it encapsulates the imperfect effort, but the team pulling in the same direction. How about the pass breakup at the goal line that Puka Nacua got to get you in the end zone?
What a play. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's going to be one of those deals that you show that. Is this on a delay for me to bleep this out? Go ahead. Yeah, whatever. Hey, proud of them. Great job by the guys. You guys got to listen to me curse at you next week, too.
All right.
Love you.
Thank you, Sean.
I've heard Sean McVay use colorful language before. I could be wrong here, but I think that's one of the first F-bombs we've had from Sean McVay.
He has said SH.
Sure, no, that's a common one.
What, Shiza? Yes,
Yeah.
and I do think we can let him know. We edit this. He can
Let it rip,
it go.
dude. Let it
Shiitake
rip.
mushrooms.
Yeah. Blank no, Mo. We were going to go down there.
This is the wild card
way.
show, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. It's the wild card show. You get a little wild language along the way. It was he's right. And what he kept saying is we can play a lot better. They're going to have to, Sua. They did, some of these self-inflicted obstacles that they had. The Rams were the least penalized team in the entire league this year.
Yeah.
And they had 9 penalties.
Sloppy.
That is not what they do, and yet they continue to make mistakes.
This was sloppy, non-cohesive football. But you're just so talented individually that you can get away with it. And they have gotten away with it a few times this year. There's been a few games where Stafford was completely asleep in one half. Well, we've said it in the first 6 weeks of the season. We said Stafford can't choose one half to wake up. He can't choose one half to go through the motion before he wakes up. And then we got a nice little 2 months of football of just bliss, just beautiful football, picturesque. Nobody's beating this team. And in the last 6 weeks, it's been weird. Today was weird. I'm not worried about Coach McVay being able to get his team ready or prepared to go. I'm so concerned about the special teams, and I am so concerned about the secondary. Because even with Lake back today,
It
not
wasn't
much
better.
changed.
It wasn't much better. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be better next week, but the blocked punt that the Rams allowed was a bucket of cold water over the top of what's been going on all season long. And it felt like, is this really how this is going to end? Because that allowed Carolina to score the go-ahead touchdown, like we talked about 2.5 minutes left in the game when they went in to do it. And that would have been making the full circle, right? The reason that the Rams are playing in this game, the reason that the Rams weren't the number 1 seed, the reason that the Rams were not the division champion is because they had a series of special teams failures throughout the year. And then for them to come that close to watching their football season come to an end because of a special teams failure felt oddly, apropos. Now, they got the ball back, they went and they took care of business, but that has to be, I don't want to say a little better. It has to completely change moving forward.
It's got to be in the back of your mind. And if I'm any team that's going to be playing the Rams in the next round, I'm assuming the last thing you want to do is kick a ball.
I'm not so sure that wasn't at least part of the decision they decided to go for it on that 1 4th down. Now, I know Harrison Mevis has only missed 1 kick as a Ram, and so he's been very, very good. But, they've had so many things.
PTSD.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think they've been.
You also have a really
bitten, twice
great
shy.
options to catch the ball to get you 7 instead of 3. You have Devontae Adams, you have Colby Parkinson, you have Puka Nacua. You have great weapons there that are almost guaranteed.
How about that, by the way, that of all those things that, like Emily just said, all the different players that can impact this team, that Colby Parkinson not just scored the winning touchdown. Mossed him.
Yeah.
That it wasn't just that he scored a touchdown. He made a play that was a 10 out of 10 play.
As a DB, you've got to be sick to your stomach. Are you kidding
That
me?
a tight end made
you
that play?
allowed not only was it not a skill position, it wasn't a receiver that did this to you. And it wasn't a Kyle Pitts-esque tight end that did this to you. You allowed the blue-collar, hungry man, lunch pail, block-first tight end to 360 pirouette moss you for the game-winning touchdown. Are you kidding me?
It's a fair point. Let me just throw this in there. The man is 6'7", 270 pounds. I mean,
how does he even get behind you?
I don't know.
How did he get behind you?
If 6'7", 270 decides I'm going to put you over here, you're going over.
You sweep the leg.
I guess so, but that is, and he's been somebody that scored touchdowns for the Rams this season. He's been incredibly impressive. Let's take a look at some of the other games that are going to happen this weekend. The Bears and the Packers are playing right now. Packers ahead 7-3. The Bears are driving right now. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. This one, Packers 7, Bears 3. Second quarter just began. The Packers need to beat the Bears. The Eagles need to lose to the Niners for the Rams to be home next weekend.
Yeah.
Does this hold up, do you think? Do you think that the Packers can find a way to win this
I
game?
think 100%. I think the Packers, I had them as my favorite to win this division before the year started. And, again, it all resets when you get into the postseason. So what you did in the regular season or what you beat and who you beat does not matter. Just ask the Panthers. I think the Bears win this game, but it's going to go down to the wire.
It's already getting chippy, too. There's been several fights before the game started.
There's a fight before the game, yeah.
After the game has started, it's chippy.
Can you do it without Micah Parsons?
You can't win a Super Bowl without Michael Parsons. they're not going to win a Super Bowl. They're going to run into somebody who's just outright better, and that's why the Rams need to get their act together.
All right, so what's coming up tomorrow, the first game, the early game tomorrow, Buffalo is in Jacksonville taking on the Jags. The Jags are 13-4. We saw the Rams just kill the Jags in London in the early part of the season. The Rams continued to play well after that, but Jacksonville looked like a bad football team the afternoon that we watched them. They have been arguably the best team in the league since then.
That offense looks explosive. The running game has come alive. Trevor Lawrence is making all the right decisions. On top of running the football, I think he has over 600 rushing yards this year. I think he has the most rushing yards as a QB since Lamar Jackson this year in one season. So Trevor Lawrence said, I'm tired of the comments. I'm tired of the chirps. They named the stadium after me for a reason. I'm a $200 million guy, and I'm going to show you. And he's done exactly that.
He's been really good. But if these playoff games often come down to who has the better quarterback, we just watched the Rams win a game because they had Matthew Stafford on their team. Does Buffalo go into Jacksonville and win because they have Josh Allen?
Yeah. Like I said, I think the Jags got screwed with that draw.
Tough draw.
How do you win your division, win 13 games, and, I get rewarded with playing Josh Allen and the Bills in warm weather?
Yeah.
That's just what we needed to give them.
Yeah, he's going to be a handful for sure. The afternoon game tomorrow, the 49ers and the Eagles. I've said this 100 times. Look, the Niners are a dangerous opponent because it's a division opponent. Kyle Shanahan, obviously an incredibly talented head coach and can find a way to do these things. But the Eagles, man for man, when you look at the Rams, if you line up their roster against almost every other team in the league, I think I'm going to take the Rams. I'm not so sure, though, I wouldn't take Philadelphia. Just player for player in that matchup.
Yeah, defensively, I'm going Philadelphia. If we're talking names, defensively, Philadelphia's got them, but offensively, it's a wash. I think they're superstars on both sides of the football, and it will be a great matchup. But I'm not so sure the Rams will play Philly in the first round if this game continues to trend the way it's going.
We will see. Caleb Williams just threw an interception, so the Packers take the ball away with a 7-3 lead, 12 minutes, 23 seconds to go in the second quarter. And then the final game tomorrow night, the Chargers and the Pats. And this is one of those games that I have no idea what's going to happen to it, because the Chargers, and the fact that there is a verb called chargering, and I don't need to explain it to anybody, tells you all you need to know about the Chargers.
Yep.
And the fact that the Patriots are 14-3 and have the guy that might win the MVP at their quarterback, and I don't think anybody is feeling great about their chances against San Diego, against the Chargers.
Well, they should be.
That game is a coin flip among coin flips.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know what's going to happen. My heart, it's telling me the Patriots. For some reason, I feel like Herbert is the better quarterback right now, but Drake May, he's been impressive.
He's been great.
And that the Chargers something glazes over their eyes when the playoffs
And it's never the same thing. It's always a different thing that seems to come up one way or the other.
Monday night's game.
Yep.
In Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Texans go there.
Yep.
Mike Tomlin doesn't lose on Monday nights in Pittsburgh.
Not very often.
The Renegade will be playing. It'll be cold. Those Yinzers are going to come out in full force. I'm just saying, don't count out the Steelers against the Texans.
The Texans have a great
are going to
defense.
run through their face.
Oh,
and the
come
Texans
on.
have
Run through
won
their
9
face
in a row. You think it's that
best
one-sided?
that defense against that sloppy offense?
They find a way to make
DK's
everything
back.
ugly, though.
What does that really mean?
A red zone
What has DK
threat.
been doing this year?
A red zone threat.
Picking fights with fans.
Picking fights.
Okay.
Sucker punching.
There's no fans to pick
patrons.
fights with because it's going to be at home in Pittsburgh. I believe in the Yins guys.
All right, there's the rest of your wild card weekend. We'll give you. Still got a lot more to get into. I want to talk about that secondary. So you've mentioned it a couple times for the Rams. We got Q-Lake back today, but it still looked like that is clearly the vulnerable spot for the Rams defense moving forward. It's all coming up on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Hey, it's me, your heart valve. The blood flowing thing in your heart. Ooh, hear that? The whole stadium's cheering for heart valve screenings? Detecting heart valve disease is super important, especially if you're over 65. It's deadly if you don't treat it. That's right. Boo! Heart valve disease! Boo! Good news is, early detection saves lives. Go to listentoyourvalves.com and get screened for heart valve disease. Oh, and go Rams!
Some things are better live. That's why at Unified Financial Credit Union, we staff our call center with live Unified team members. So instead of this...
Sorry, there's no one available to take your call.
You get this.
This is John from Unify. How are you today?
So whether you need to move money, open a credit card, or take out an auto loan, you can connect live with a Unified team member in any state, 7 days a week. Unified Financial Credit Union. Connect your way. Now the official credit union of the Los Angeles Rams. Unified is an equal opportunity lender insured by NCUA.
Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, one more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Rams Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Change is in the air at LAX. Los Angeles International Airport's automated people mover trains are rolling soon as part of LAX's ongoing investments in improving your travel journey. The new trains will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, and economy parking in 10 minutes or less. Departing every 2 minutes, they'll help approximately 30 million passengers per year. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN. That's lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey Rams fans, we've teamed up with Bloom Ranch to ensure we have the healthiest fans in the league. That's why we're committed to delivering some of the freshest fruits and veggies to your door. And here's the best part. The first 100 boxes are on us. That's right. We're giving away the first 100 boxes. After that, enjoy 30% off on your first box upon signing up at www.bloomranchofacton.com and enter promo code ThankYouRams. There are no fans like Rams fans. Winning and getting healthier together is the real flex. So hurry, this offer won't last forever. Follow Bloom Ranch on IG and share how you're getting healthier using #BloomRamFit.
It's another exciting game day for Rams fans, and on game days, it's all about more. More action, more noise, and more savings. That's right, Rams fans save up to 35 cents per gallon on game days with a fuel rewards program from Shell. That means you can keep your tailgates going all season long. So don't drop the ball on saving more at the pump. Download the app, join the fuel rewards program, and take your savings all the way to the end zone. Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.fuelrewards.com/Rams for full offer details.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Time to recap Rams Panthers. Wildcard Saturday from Bank of America Stadium.
We react right now on the Rams postgame show live from Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino Park Party and Play.
Rams Panthers is a final.
Once again live from our Rams Wildcard Watch Party at Hollywood Park Casino with producer Emily, Chris Morales, and Sua Cravens. Here is Travis Rogers.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Rams did win. They did not cover the 10.5-point spread that they took into that game, the largest playoff road favorite in the Super Bowl era. But I guarantee you they do not care. They get to play again a week from today, maybe a week from tomorrow. They will play in the divisional round. Sua, what is the feeling? Is it joy? Is it elation because you won the game, or is it a
relief?
We escaped, and is it relief?
It's relief. As a player, it's relief. I think as the coaching staff, they're looking at it as 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
I think that they don't, especially McVay. He's just such a positive guy. I don't think he cares how the wins get done as long as it's a W in that column.
The player of the game is driven by your Southern California Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy. I think that's a pretty easy one. Matthew Stafford, 24 for 42, 304, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Some honorable mention, though, Sua, could be Puka Nacua, who did score a touchdown, but also made – are we calling that a defensive play where he knocked an interception? Yeah, it was a PBU for sure. Colby Parkinson made an incredibly athletic play to score the game-winning touchdown along the way. But we're going to give it to Matthew Stafford, who spoke with Pam Oliver immediately following the game.
Well, Matthew, what a game. Looked like that Cinderella story was about to unfold, but you had other ideas. How did you guys pull this out?
Yeah, total team effort. Obviously had some mistakes along the way. I turned it over. We had a punt blocked. Didn't score before the half, and we probably should have. So, a lot to clean up, but found a way to win it late. I believe in my teammates. I know they believe in me. we scored down there. Defense looked at me and said, we got you, and they were right, so that was sweet.
Congratulations about moving on.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Pam.
Okay.
All right, that's Matthew Stafford with Pam Oliver. They did a pretty good job of protecting Matthew Stafford. Stafford only sacked one time today,
Yep.
Sua. If they give him protection like that, and assuming his hand is good to go for a week, you just know that you're going to get a performance from Matthew Stafford like that. He had a little bit of a lull in the middle of the game, but I really think that's directly related to the pain in his hand.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Stafford, especially if he has time to throw the ball. I'm not worried about him at all. That tells me not to slight anybody, but that tells me Humphries was not in the game, because if he has to move out the pocket as much as he did against Arizona, they will not win a game. We saw that Carolina, especially late in that second, all the way through the third, they start getting a little bit pressure on Stafford, not getting home, but forcing him off of his spot, and that Rams offense just screeched to a halt.
I thought that was something that the Rams defense did pretty well, too, is moving Bryce Young off of his spot. They only sacked him 2 times, but especially once we got a little bit later in the game, it felt like he had to make plays on the run, moving his feet. You mentioned to me at one point that Carolina started to immediately move that pocket just to kind of – and he's an elusive guy. Like, he can move his feet. He's a pretty elusive running back or quarterback.
Yeah. You don't want your quarterback standing in the pocket when he's 5'10", because it's hard to see over the O-line. And once they force him to step up into the pocket because they rush the edges, he's either going to run or he has to throw it away, because you can't deliver the ball down the field because you can't see over these guys. And because you're smaller, I don't think you can generate as much power on the run running away from your throwing arm. So to counteract that pressure, Carolina did a great job in just giving him a bunch of rollouts and giving him a bunch of decisive throws where he could create a rhythm, and it worked.
I have seen Bryce Young play 4 quarters in a row twice now.
Yeah.
Both times against the Rams. I've seen a little Monday Night Football here and there, Thursday Night Football. Like, you'll see some highlights.
You don't see it?
No, the opposite, quite frankly. That when I see him play against the Rams, I'm like, that guy's a pretty good quarterback. And then you look at the Panthers' record. You look at the fact that they benched him earlier, in his career, despite being the number 1 overall pick not that long ago. And I've watched him against the Rams. He looks pretty good to me. What am I missing? Is it bad size?
I think his size definitely hurts him, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think that he needs some receiver help. I think that he needs O-line help that can actually protect him. And then he needs an OC that's going to attack downfield, because this gimmicky RPO, 2-yard screens and check downs and hopes that we can fool you into yardage, it doesn't. The NFL's too good. It's not going to work. You need a real scheme and a real plan.
Let's pause 10 seconds so stations can identify themselves on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma Brands radio station.
All right, so the Rams are on to the divisional round. The Green Bay Packers are ahead 7-3 against the Bears with about 9 minutes to go in the first half. The Packers need to beat the Bears. The Niners need to beat the Eagles for the Rams to be home next weekend. Otherwise, they will be on the road to Chicago or Philadelphia. We will know by the end of tomorrow where they are headed. But the good news is they're going to play. They get the chance to go to the divisional round for the second year in a row, and who knows, maybe back in Philadelphia for the second year in a row. So,
yeah. I don't think Lincoln Financial Field is where they want to be, but if the road to the Super Bowl leads through it, you got to beat them anyways.
Yeah, and they played well there earlier this season. Of course, that
Road to
special
redemption
snafu was there. Special teams need to be better. Defensive backs need to be better, and they need to play 4 full quarters. We'll get you started. We'll find out when they play. Sue and I will have the pregame show. Emily will be there as well. We'll have it all for you after the game as well. And hopefully we're talking a little NFC Championship this time next week. The Rams win 34-31. This has been the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
There's never been a better time to find the Toyota that's just right for you at Toyota.com. You can explore our full lineup of vehicles, compare features side by side, search our available inventory, see our latest offers, find a dealer,